It is the 31st century, and mankind is once again at war. The battlefields of the future are dominated by huge robotic war machines known as battlemechs.
Lance Leader, you are to proceed at once to the following coordinates.
Lance Leader, you are to proceed at once to the following coordinates and investigate enemy activity. Our spies have noticed ever-increasing activity around a previously destroyed industrial area. Scan the structures and discover what the hated Davians are plotting. It is unclear what enemies may be in the area, so battle should not be your primary concern. Now that the cowardly, do-nothing flower sniffers are gone, we can at last prosecute this war without hindrance. Fight well, Lance Leader. Bring victory to the warlord and glory to the coordinator. The departure of Brian's Legion changed the Battle of David. No longer were the defenders outnumbered 2-1. Now old rivals of Davian and Kurita fought on equal footing. While the victory over the mercenaries had been decisive, it was not without cost. The 12th Deneb Light Cavalry had been fighting harassing attacks and defensive actions almost non-stop since the dropships had first touched down. Both men and equipment were exhausted. Still, the defeat of the mercenaries were a propaganda boon, and civilian resistance stiffened. Marshal Haveson pushed for more civilians to be armed. Important since the First Secession War, the port city of Sassari held a possible answer. Tantriff Agricultural Equipment was once an industrial mech services provider on David. Their primary facility just outside the city had been damaged in the early days of the war, but enough remained of their compound to still be useful. While lacking equipment to service battle mechs, their facilities could be used to mount spare weapons onto simple industrial mechs. A recent security leak had brought the Davian presence there to the attention of the invaders. The Dirian regulars deployed the remains of Nikori Lance of the 3rd Company to find out why their enemies were so interested in what they believed to be the ruins of an agricultural tool maker. Little did the Caridans know that Captain Chryson's Clydesdale Lance had recently stopped at the facility. Even as their sensors registered heavy and assault mech power-ups, the samurai of Nikori Lance moved in to do their duty. Turn 1. The Jenner runs forward to the distant hill, using it as cover. The Spider runs full speed toward the Victor and the Cataphract, surprising them. The Cataphract and the Victor line up on the charging Spider. The Orion stands still, taking aim at the Jenner. The Javelin, still suffering damage from the previous battle, jumps around the hill with his functional jump jets. The Stalker stands still, taking aim. The Javelin has no fire. The Stalker fires both LRM-10s at the Spider, but misses. The Jenner scans the nearby building. The Spider fires both medium lasers at the Victor, hitting it in the center torso and left leg. The Orion fires his LRM-15 at the Jenner, but misses. The Cataphract Alpha strikes the Spider, the PPC heavily damaging the light mech's right torso. Captain Chryson Alpha strikes with all his mech's weapons at the Spider, but misses. Turn 2. Captain Chryson watches the Spider getting ready to fire. The Javelin jumps towards the Jenner. The Jenner jumps over the hill, landing with its back to the central building. The Stalker stands still. The Spider leaps over the office building, taking cover in the once beautiful courtyard. The Orion runs up into melee range with the landing Jenner. The Cataphract runs around the building, catching the Jenner between him and the Orion. The Victor has no fire. The Spider scans the far building. The Orion fires his AC-10, both medium lasers, and his SRM-4 at the Jenner. The weapons miss, but the Orion kicks the small mech, ripping off the right leg. The Jenner crashes headfirst into the dirt, injuring Lance Leader Amano. The Cataphract fires on the falling mech with his AC-10 and medium lasers. Again, the weapons miss, but the foot of the heavy mech crashes down onto the right torso, nearly destroying it. The Jenner does not fire. Lance Leader Amano manages to fight through the injury and uses his mech sensors to scan one of the central buildings. The Stalker fires both LRM-10s at the down Jenner, some of the missiles hitting the mech's left leg and torso. Turn 3. The Orion stands over the downed Jenner. The Cataphract backs away, getting eyes on the Javelin. Lance Leader Amano chances scanning the second central building, then starts to reach down for the ejection lever. The Javelin jumps back, withdrawing. Captain Chryson uses his jump jets to follow the Spider over the building, also landing in the courtyard. The Stalker stands still, waiting for a target. The Spider races out of the courtyard, away from the landing assault mech, around the Stalker, and hides behind the far building. The Orion fires his AC-10 and medium lasers down into the still active Jenner. The lasers and autocannon destroying the Jenner's left torso and heavily damaging the mech's center torso, including the mech's engine. The Orion then lifts his leg and crashes through the remains of the light mech's center torso, destroying the mech. The Cataphract, not seeing an ejection, fires on the motionless Jenner, aiming for the mech's head with his AC-10 and medium lasers. A laser hits the head, further injuring Lance Leader Amano, but the other laser and the autocannon rips apart what little remained of the mech's ruined body. Lance Leader Amano, bleeding heavily, pulls at the ejection lever, but all power is gone and nothing happens. Pulling the emergency lever, he crawls out of his mech, stumbling into the building, taking cover from the massive Orion battle mech towering above him. The Javelin is out of weapons range. The Stalker has no target. The Spider scans one of the nearby buildings. The Victor has no fire. Turn 4. The Javelin jumps out of the combat zone. The Stalker stands still. Captain Chryson stands ready, watching for the Spider to re-emerge. The Orion backs up to see the Spider, leaving him nowhere to hide. The Spider jumps over the Orion, trying to find somewhere to go. The Cataphract walks forward, bringing his main weapons into short range. The Stalker cannot lock on to the flying Spider with his LRMs for indirect fire. Captain Chryson still has no target. The Spider scans the Orion, hoping it will prove useful. The Cataphract fires his AC-10 and PPC at the Spider, but misses. The Orion also fires his AC-10 and 2 medium lasers, but also misses. Turn 5. The Stalker continues to wait for a target. Captain Chryson remains in the office building's courtyard in case the Spider returns. The Spider jumps over the Cataphract, landing back near the office building. The Cataphract turns around and chases after the Spider. The Orion runs through the rubble of the Jenner to fire on the Spider. The Spider scans the nearby office building. The Cataphract fires his AC-10 and lasers at the Spider, the AC-10 damaging the light mech's left torso. The Orion fires his AC-10 and lasers at the Spider, the medium lasers damaging the light mech's head and right arm. The Stalker fires both LRM-10s indirectly at the Spider, but misses. Captain Chryson and his Victor still cannot see the Spider. Turn 6. The Cataphract stands still, readying to fire again. The Orion backs up in case the Spider again tries to hide in the inner buildings. The Stalker and the Victor also hold position, further limiting the Spider's options. The damage to the Spider causes the mech warrior to lose control, falling and further damaging the weak left torso. Standing again, the Spider runs through the rubble of a destroyed building, trying to reach safety. The Cataphract fires on the rear of the Spider with his AC-10 and PPC, the particle cannon destroying the light mech's right arm and destroying a jump jet and the right torso. The Orion fires on the Spider with his LRM-15, but misses. The Stalker cannot get a lock to fire his LRMs. The Spider and Victor have no fire. Turn 7. The spider jumps closer to safety. The stalker stands down. The cataphract walks forward, getting ready to fire again on the distant spider. The Orion again stomps through the remains of the Jenner, preparing to again fire on the fleeing spider. Captain Chryson stands down, content to allow the spider to escape. The Orion, cataphract, and stalker just cannot hit the tiny spider. Turn 8. The Orion runs after the spider. The stalker and Victor are too slow to give chase. They let the enemy go. The spider jumps to safety. Aftermath. Marshal Haveson's plan to arm the population was a success. As the Cretans pushed forward, despite the loss of their mercenary allies, waves of armed civilian mechs began to hamper their efforts. Nikori Lance, while not fully successful in scanning all the structures, managed to gather enough information to reveal what was going on. It was not long before a Draconis air raid leveled what remained of Tantive agricultural equipment. The bombs and the war did not matter to Chuy Yamano. After escaping his fallen Jenner, he raced into the central structure and was confronted by the workers. Drawing his auto pistol and katana, he threw himself into the angry mob, believing he would die. He was surprised when he later opened his eyes in a medical center. He then wished all the more that he had died when his sight focused on a very familiar enhanced interrogation chair. Hello, this is Adam of Dream Made Productions. Thank you for watching this video. I would ask, please help me grow this channel by subscribing, liking, leaving a comment, or sharing. I really enjoy bringing you these videos. If you would like to support the channel, I have included some places you can send Bitcoin or other crypto in the description. I have also included a link for PayPal if you would like to support that way. Please know that any amount you give will be cherished and used to upgrade equipment and improve the channel. As of the date of this video, all donations and any funds I can personally put in are being saved towards upgrading to a Canon G50 for HD video. I cannot express how honored I am that so many of you have chosen to watch my content. When I started this adventure, I thought I would just have one sub. Thanks, Mom. But the amount of support I have gotten has exceeded all my expectations. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I hope you enjoy the battle reps that are to come.